Hey everybody, my name is Amy. I am your hidden consumer expert at Hidden Consumers Consulting, where we focus on websites and how to attract, engage, and convert people to be your next potential customers. Today we're going to talk about a blog I literally just wrote this morning. I've had a lot of experiences over the last 6 weeks involving talking to clients whose SEO just 100% failed. Like 2, 3 years ago, they started seeing the numbers start to go down, and then suddenly it just crashed, and they're not bringing in the clientele through their website like they used to. I'm also working with a lot of clients who really are so into that SEO mindset, they don't understand that the website copy is truly the key that helps you build like, know, and trust, or know, like, and trust with potential people. So today, the blog is really about kicking off what is it about SEO that's failed, but what are those really big keys that are important to making sure your website draws in not just anybody, but the qualified traffic who is actually looking for you, and you might not even know they're out there, right? Unexpected consumers are looking for you, but your website isn't doing it justice to find them. So over the next few weeks, I'm going to cover a gamut of issues around this because it's not just website copy. There's a whole list of items that need to be looked at in order to make sure your website is working effectively as your key marketing advice. Because at the end of the day, all links lead back to your website. And that's one of the big things we want to make sure that people really understand and who you are by looking at your website. So the new blog, SEO Has Failed, is out there for you to look at. So let's talk about one of the main topics that's going to be coming out, and it's a theme throughout over the next few weeks, and that really is website copy. I have lots of tips and tricks for people. I'm going to give you a couple here. The first tip is think about who your ideal client is. What do they say when you talk to them? You've probably developed an elevator pitch that is perfected to understand who you're looking for, but in a way the words actually mean something to them in a few 30 seconds or less. When you talk to your ideal client, they hear your elevator pitch and they're like, I want more. What is it in that elevator pitch that gets them started? And that needs to be the top of your webpage. What is it that draws people to you? Start with your elevator pitch. The next thing you want to think about with your website copy, and the difference between SEO and really where websites need to go, is how you talk in your copy, right? You're talking to a person on the other side. Like I am talking to you on the other side of a camera, but I have no idea who you are. It's the same thing when it comes to your website copy. So how do you build a connection with someone on a static platform like a website? And it all comes down to your website copy, right? You don't want to throw everything in the kitchen sink, right? So your homepage has to be set up really well to be clear and concise, but it's to drive people to engage by moving through to the next section. So what in your website copy really talks to the person about you understanding the barriers, but knowing where they want to go. You don't want to spend all your time focused on their pain points because they know what they're experiencing. They want to know, can you solve it for them? Can you fix them and get them over that hurdle so they can continue to move forward and grow? And that's the key to the copy. You know who your ideal client is. You know what they're experiencing. You know how they say things. And you're putting copy on a page that is a conversation with that person who you've never met. That conversation, the way you phrase that, that's going to help search engines bring in qualified traffic, right? Because now we've brought in people who you have spoken their language. Search engines connected those two dots, and now you have qualified traffic on your website. You have to excuse me. I've been dealing with a really bad cold since July. So So those are some really cool keys that you want to make sure you're keeping in line. SEO really failed because if you look at what SEO was intended to do, it was to draw the world to a website and just drop them there. There was no intent to convert those people. It just happened because they dropped so many people. The problem is that was you had to pay to play that game, right? How much money did you want to spend on SEO services and ads and everything else to drive as many people there as possible? The flip side is right now is if you spend all your time doing what those traditional SEO tactics, which means just talk about you, drop certain keywords every 3 or 4 sentences, or every paragraph has your company name listed 5 times, all you've done is alienated the user. Think about before you ever started working in business. Think about the type of websites you were going to and think about how frustrated did you get that you weren't finding what you were looking for? And it comes down to those traditional SEO tactics that have failed. They're not built, those tactics were not built to keep people on page or engaged. They're just to drop people there and hope for the best. Today's website strategy, which is what I bring to all my clients, is about how do you understand who your client is, understand what they're looking for to get them engaged. The higher engagement time they have on your website, the more likely they are to convert. And again, it's going to come back to your website copy. So SEO has failed. And if you're still doing SEO traditionally and you're still struggling, it's never going to get better. It just won't. For all of us out there in the world who have to deal with all those spam requests, let me do your backlinks. Let me do this. You're seeing more of them because people are dropping their businesses like flies because it doesn't work. You have to build a website that has a minimum of 30 seconds engagement on your website. Minimum. Most of my clients were seeing over a minute right now because we've built and have a strategy that focuses on who we want to bring to the website, but how to engage them, how to really explain what it is they do to make that next step for them easy. This is what we're going to do. These are your problems. This is why we fix it. This is your next step to just talk to me. It's not buy, 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 or book, 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 right? It's about here's how I'm going to help you. Let me walk you through this process so you can make the best decision for yourself. Websites that are informational. That at the end of the day is what consumers are looking for. Now, if they're just randomly going through websites, yeah, they probably don't care. But that's not who you're looking for. You're looking for that qualified, ideal client who is looking for you, who wants to work with you, but they can't find you. And they can't find you because there's too many other websites in the way, and we have to clear that path. And that's what my website strategy does. So starting with this blog, SEO Has Failed, we're going to be walking through what that strategy looks like on a big picture from behind the website, the back end of your tech, all the way to what does your process look like and how do you communicate that to potential clients. So there you go. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line, let me know. Also, if you're just ready to jump in for your own website strategy that brings in your qualified ideal client, go to Hidden Consumer Consulting and you can book an appointment. You can see what's going on. You can also go to adventureinseo.com just to make a flat out appointment. So whatever works for you, that is what you can do. Other than that, have a great rest of your day. Thanks for your patience and for listening to me with a cold. I appreciate it. And if you have questions,